I'm with my mate Vaughan again here. We're going to talk about Wayne Brown. And the big one with Wayne Brown is the ports of Auckland. So what's the latest, Vaughan?
Well, geez, Max, we could be accused of when are we not talking about Wayne Brown? But hey, there is a new sheriff in town. His name is Wayne Brown, and everybody is on notice that there are changes afoot. So those changes mainly involve the four council-controlled organisations, and just for reference, Auckland Transport, Auckland Unlimited, Watercare, Panuku. But the action this week is down on the waterfront with the ports of Auckland, and in the shape of a Mexican standoff between Mayor Brown and the chair, Jan Dawson. Now, Max, here's what I think. The Port of Auckland is a basket case. And if we consider workplace deaths because of health and safety issues, writing off 65 million because of a botched automation project, or being one of the most inefficient ports in the country running at a throughput of around 60%, all of this happening arguably on the most prime urban real estate in the country. So Max, for starters, this tells me, thank the gods for Wayne Brown. All Jan Dawson is doing by resisting calls for the board to resign is prove that the board is not prepared to face facts that their performance is actually piss poor. The issue is not going to get resolved with hot air and a guided tour around the port, which is what they're inviting Mayor Brown to do. I will close with an example of the hot air I refer to. Jan Dawson has celebrated in the press a throughput for the port, an increase of 30% since April, as if they're doing a great job. That's a load of bullpucky, Max, because back in April, the port was at an all-time low throughput because of the botched automation system. So a 30% increase off a low base is just fixing a cock-up. That's not a celebration or improvement due to any new initiative or any smarts for ports operations. So when Mayor Brown calls for the ports of Auckland to step aside, he is speaking for all of Auckland. The port of Auckland, the board, they need to stop treating the citizen like baboons as if we don't know. We do know. So my message to Jan Dawson and her board is enough is enough. Bye-bye, and back over to you, Max.
Well, look, you really did bring that to the forefront. And thank you for Vaughan, because I wouldn't have thought about that. It's exactly right. The comparison with before and afterwards, you have 30% is nothing because the port has virtually been stopped due to health and safety and this automation issue. Do you know, Vaughan, I used to work at the port, but the issue with the automation issue was this. Yeah, if it had gone through, the port would be much more efficient. It wouldn't have so many manning issues, and the union down there do run the show. I was there. I do understand this. And look, the other factor was that if they'd let it go through, now a lot of the bureaucrats, the port management down there resisted the automation because it meant their job. So they actually said, boss, it doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work. And of course, that filtered all the way back up the top. And then the council said, okay, let's convert it back to manual again. And I think there's some big mistakes being made down there because people are listening to bureaucrats. Good on Wayne Brown. And thank you, Vaughan. Thank you for the insight, because that was really informative.
Well, Max, and I'll close with this. Grab your popcorn, pull up a seat. There's more action to come here.